keys to the blockchain breeze. He's live every day, decode the mazes. JJ's cryptic corner, where the coins keep turning. Log in now, the future's burning. JJ's cryptic corner, JJ's cryptic corner. Pixels glow, charts flow, crypto whispers, secrets show. He cracks the code on this winding road. JJ's cryptic corner, JJ's cryptic corner, JJ's cryptic corner, JJ's cryptic corner, JJ's cryptic. Tune in, lean back, grab your coffee, hit the track. JJ's live, don't be late. Cryptic wisdom, seal your fate. JJ's cryptic.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Happy Wednesday. How's everyone doing today? Guys, please direct your attention to the poll in the chat. I asked you guys, where's the smart money going right now? Gold and silver, buying the Bitcoin dip, cash, USD, or the stock market? What's going on, Drummer? What's going on, Gourmet Brands? Guys, hey, what's going on, guys? Bitcoin, currently sitting at $72,919. It's like dumping, but it's dumping slow. I don't know, it's weird. We definitely got some bull div on the 4 hour with the RSI and the price. So that's good. Gold and silver continue to slowly climb back out of the gutter while everything else slowly climbs down. We are trading places, as it were. But let's go refresh our liquidation heat map and see where we're at for Bitcoin specifically. We do got some wicks just like we did before though, so exercise caution. It's literally the exact same setup. You can see big wick, double bottom wick. Are we going to do a little rebound continuation right here and have the same exact story play out? How much farther can this divergence go? I have no idea. But let's go see where we're at as far as liquidations go. I'm at the point now where I have no answers. I mean, I have no answers to begin with, but at this point, I'm just kind of along for the ride. We got 71,827. 71,827. Oh yeah, I had that Binance colored one. That's right. I was like, why is this yellow? But I remember now because I was talking crap allegedly. We've got 73,829. I don't know, is this whole thing just one big bear trap? That'd be kind of hilarious. I mean, technically every pullback is 77,165. Because you know there's always one bear that probably holds onto their short all the way up to the all-time high. They're probably just auto-depositing margin every single day. Their wife is just calling them, did you auto-deposit margin again? What is that, 69,626? I thought you said you weren't going to do anymore. Honey, Bitcoin's going up forever. Give it up. That's Michael Burry's wife. That's Michael Burry's wife talking to him. I'm like weirded out. I've noticed for some reason recently, just the past 3-4 days, Jim Cramer has not stopped talking or posting about Bitcoin on X, and it's freaking me out. Why is he so obsessed with Bitcoin right now? Just out of nowhere, too. It's weird. Drummer said, don't forget to like and subscribe, everyone. Gourmet Brand said, at what point does all the winning become too much to handle? I mean, it is reaching a point where I am convinced that a turnaround within the next, I'm going to call it 60 days max, is going to result in midterms lost for the current administration. So they better start flipping the script pretty quick here. Allegedly, they had a meeting today about that. Anyways, Bitcoin 73.84 and 90 cents. We got the wicks. We'll see if that results in any push up. We got bullish divergence on the RSI. Bearish cross. We are oversold on the 4-hour. Red dot in the momentum wave point to the downside that is also oversold on the daily. We are also oversold. Double bottom on the daily RSI. Let's see if that sends us anywhere fun. ETH up 0.43 since the daily close. We got a little tweezer bottom going on right here. Same exact setup as Bitcoin though. Big wick, double bottom wick, double bottom wick. Same story. Is it going to result in further downside? We also have bullish divergence here too. So there's recurring themes. The bullish div is apparent. Unfortunately, the bullish div only results in a quick rebound and continued downside for the price with continued upside for the RSI. So there will need to be some kind of a catalyst that flips the script, so to say. Apparently that's the that's the theme of the day, is flipping the script. Bitcoin dominance continuing to fail. Attempts above 60 and now attempts above 59.5, which actually you can see in the charts. Bitcoin's dumping 3, 4, 5%. Some alts are like struggling to dump 3, 4, 5%. I don't know if that's because there's no sellers left or if there's an actual rotation happening. Maybe Bitcoin had a really, really long bull market, and because of that extra length in time frame, the rotation into altcoins takes a little bit longer. That'd be kind of weird, wouldn't it? Billy said, let it keep dumping. I'll enjoy my shorts. Yeah, dude, shorts are just printing right now. Anyone that has had a short, all the perma bears are just like retired. There's no way. And if they're not, then shame on them. Because clearly they flip-flopped and are struggling with conviction at that point, which sucks. Solana down 0.09%, currently trading at 92.03. All right, I don't know where this is going to go next. 75 is going to be psychological level, obviously. I don't know what, that's not 75. 75. There we go. Okay, so maybe 75 is next in the books. Do we have bullish div here? Yes, we do. We got bullish divergence here as well for Solana. Unfortunately, this is our lower trend line, the blue, of our very, very broad trend that goes back, I think, 2 years. This goes back to 2024. Yeah, March 2024. A solid 2-year trend line breaking right there, which is kind of a shame. 75 psychological. We also have point of confluence right here based on a previous bounce. Yeah. And I suppose I'll call it a point of confluence here. 65. Yeah, I like that. So let's watch these levels strictly based on previous price action. I watched The Death of a Unicorn last night with Paul Rudd and Jenna Ortega, and it was actually really good. It has really bad reviews on Google, and that's actually been a good indicator for me. Whenever something has really bad reviews just in one specific place, like really, really bad, I'm like, can't be that bad. The online critics are usually just snobby a-holes anyways. And I sat down and I watched it, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a weird movie. Not too weird, though. It was just weird as in, like, who came up with this. Very entertaining, though. Billy said sold around 90. Holy moly. I don't know why they're worrying. Even if we go by the 4-year cycle, it always goes back up again. Exactly. Exactly. If we are going by the 4-year cycle, then we only got 8 months, 8 or 9 months remaining. We're already 25% of the way through it. We went October, November, December, January, February. Actually, March is the 6-month mark. Wow. That's crazy. 88 Metal Mania said it was mid. That's true, but it was not 65%. You know, I would have given it like a 75, 80%. It was a decent movie. For like a B, I would call it a like a B tier movie. I quite enjoyed it. I don't know. I feel like it's rewatchable because it's funny. There's no like outlandish, like over the top adult scenes, so you can watch it with the whole family. Unless obviously you have like a weird family where you're like, oh my, I don't want the kids to see gore. Better than I thought it would be for sure. Exactly. I think that was my thing. I went in with really, really low expectations, and I was pleasantly surprised, which is more than I can say for the market. Anyways, Solana trying to recover here, and by trying to recover, I mean a recovery for ants. We got a little baby green candle, you know, Time for celebration. Total 3 up 0.07%. We are reaching our lower trend line here. What is this trend line in reference to? Let's see. Is this one of those nonsense ones? Yeah, kind of. We got 2 points of confluence, barely. Starting from here, you got a wick, and this is the third touch, technically. Could it go lower? Yes, I have no faith in this trend line whatsoever. It's just kind of there. Same with this one. That one was just kind of there. We did have some sort of confluence there, though, which is interesting. But let's see. Technically speaking, we could sell the idea of a head and shoulder here, which if we did, let's just play devil's advocate and say, yes, that's what that is. I'm going to call for, not financial advice, a frugal target of approximately $540 billion market cap on total 3. Let's see if that hits. How do I do this? 540. It's at 604. I want to do 540. Bam. Okay. Let's see. Head and shoulder target attempt. HNS target attempt. For science. Alright, so let's see what happens. You can even see it actually in the volume too, kind of. Which is interesting. Metal Mania said Death of a Unicorn. Yeah, Death of a Unicorn. It's on HBO. I don't know why. I looked it up. And it says Hulu. And Hulu is like owned by Disney now. So I go to Disney because everything in Hulu is in Disney. And I look it up and it's like, this movie's not available. And I was like, okay. So then I just let my Apple TV like guide me to where it was. And then it says HBO. And I was like, what the hell? Like the whole time it said Hulu and then Disney. And none of those worked. And it just apparently was on HBO. I don't know. It's such a mess now. Piracy apparently is making a comeback. Which I don't blame them. Because you got 50 different streaming services. The whole point was to eliminate cable and it was supposed to be cheaper. Now everyone thinks that they can charge $20. The only thing that I actually find value in is the HBO Disney Hulu bundle. But now that's going to seem like smaller because Disney's just buying everything. So it's just going to be Disney for like $40 a month. It's ridiculous, man. It's crazy. Physical media will always win. ADA is up 0.73% on the day. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Currently trading at 0.28. ADA weirdly holding up. Bitcoin downside. ETH slightly less, but still downside. Solana downside. ADA, I guess it front ran the crash, or it's holding off right now for a harder crash later. Both of those options are on the table. We got more volume here, which is interesting. I believe the bear market low is either 24.97 or just 24. It was one of these two. Maybe 24 psychological and 24.97 is the low that we hit. So, in my opinion, loading up here is not a bad idea for me personally, but I'm an ADA guy, so I don't expect anybody else to get there with me. Yeah, it's apparently wicked a little bit further. Actually, all of these points are level or are relevant. 21.8, 24, and 24.97. So let's see how much farther it goes. Do we have some semblance of an uptrend here if it does bounce? Maybe that's it. That'd be kind of crazy. I don't know. It's gonna be weird if all of these alts go lower than their bear market lows. It's gonna be so weird because I don't know if that's ever happened. That's where everything's gonna really get thrown out of whack. Like I understand getting close to the bear market low, and in some cases. We've seen it before. G Immortal said sap. What's going on, G Immortal? Billy said, I use the Flujo app, pronounced Fluho, on my Android TV. I used to have all that stuff. It became too much of a pain in the butt to maintain, but now it seems like it's worth it at this point. SNEC is down 0.58 since the daily close, currently trading at 0.0049. 0.0049, I'm sorry. Seemingly rejecting 6. Got a Bart right here, followed by a little lumpty bump. And going back down to the local lows. We'll see where she ends up. Bearish cross over the moving average on that big fat red candle. Red dot on momentum wave pointing to the downside. Negative money flow. Midnight. Staying above 46, which is good. Can it get back above 5 is a question. It's still struggling. That is the actual point of resistance right there. Is the 0.05 level. So get above that's going to be a big deal. As of right now, we are continuing to reject, but we are riding above our moving average on the RSI, so that's good. There's like upwards momentum support setup. We get a red dot in the momentum wave pointed to downside. We'll see what comes of it. XRP down 1.96% on the day, currently trading at 148.21. How low will she go? I'm calling it right now. 125 is where I'm looking next. Obviously, we lost 150. 1.25. I'm going crazy. Honestly, putting these bearish levels in probably means we're bottoming out right now, and we're not going to go any lower. JJ's bearish target. I'm going to say JJ's next bearish target. Not saying it's going to hit that. I'm just throwing it out there. The Cruiser 9034 said, "Yo, JJ, what's going on, Cruiser?" Flight Fan said, "I literally just took out my $40 with no remorse." Hell yeah. All right. We're going to skip all these boring coins. Chainlink, probably going to $5. I don't know if that's true. Look for 7.5 if it's going to continue to drop from here. Hopefully it doesn't, but you never know. You got that bullish div, which could play out, and that could do a lot for you. Keep an eye on it for sure. Red dot of the momentum wave. Point of the downside, negative money flow. Doge, not Doge. Avalanche. Also looking pretty bleak. Looking for 7.5 here. Psychological level as well. Do you got bullish div? Yes, you do. See if that turns into some upside. Red dot of the momentum wave. Point of the downside. Negative money flow as well. A failed green dot attempt on Market Cipher. And just broke below the moving average on the RSI. Cruiser said, "Did J-Dubs buy the dip yet?" Who's J-Dubs? Me? JJ? I DCA every Friday. I'm a boring guy. I like my slow, boring stuff now. I actually stopped trading a couple weeks ago. I haven't traded at all. And I gotta tell you, it makes a big difference on your like psychological life. It's pretty trippy. Philly said, "Death of Unicorn added to my watch list." It's a decent movie. I enjoyed it. I really did. Gold. I don't know why I even put it on. I think maybe I saw something for it about it on X. Gold currently down 0.18% on the day since the daily close. As of right now, though, this bottom candle body close, we are up 10% from that Pico low, returning to the mean, and it is also somewhat recoupled to the fractal. The fractal Farquad strikes again. Are we going to slow grind up from here? I think so. I actually think so for that on alts as well, simply because we have averted a government shutdown once again, and the ISM print came in expansion. So it seems like we're in no man's land at the moment. I don't know if that has to do with Iran. I don't know if that has to do with February 14th deadline for the Department of Homeland Security funding. I have no idea. But there's a million different catalysts, and it seems like we knocked off a good chunk of them in the last 3-4 days. So moving forward, that the burden has been, I guess, lessened. It seems a lot more lightweight, which is good. Don't forget to smash the like button. I appreciate you guys for being here. I did start a poll in the chat. We got 7 votes so far, 12 people watching. Guys, smash the like button. I said, where's the smart money going right now? So far, 50% of you saying cash USD, and I'm assuming that's because of the dollar-friendly, hawkish Fed chair pick. What's his name? Warsh? Is it Kevin Warsh? I don't remember his first name. His name's Warsh. And then 22% of you guys said buying the Bitcoin dip. 11% of you guys said gold and silver. 11% said stock market. Interesting. Jay Shear said, "Hello, family." And Sir JJ, what's going on? Jay Shear 2.0. Billy said, "I'll orgasm all over myself if Chainlink goes to $5. Really? Are you shorting?" Billy said, "Is this for real? No government shutdown?" Correct. Yes, government shutdown has been averted. That was yesterday, I believe. Silver. Silver looking good. Gold and silver look great right now. Gold obviously more so than silver. The recoupling of the fractal is very nice. But also the sell-off was very much, I don't know if it was, I don't want to say overdue. Obviously, you need a pullback, and we get a pretty harsh pullback every time with gold. But it ran up pretty fast here. So the faster the run up, the faster the pullback. Makes sense. It's just the way that it played out. Can it get back above 4K and hold it? As of right now, it seems to be struggling with that, but your RSI is cooperating with that moving average, which is good, and your momentum wave. also looks happy. Silver, on the other hand, currently down 0.85, 0.9% on the day, trading at $87.43. Can silver get back above 90 and hold that as well? That's going to be a psychological hurdle for silver. This one, same thing. Insane move up. It got above 77, really cool. Kind of danced around. Was it going slow? No, slow and steady. Everything was good. As soon as it got above 100, it just like insta pumped to like 120. And that had a harsh reality check. People were taking profit and number go down. I am in profit on my long. I don't know. I'm probably going to leave it open. It's not that much money. But RSI is cooperating, holding that moving average, which is good. Green dot of the momentum wave, point to the upside, positive money flow. Let's see where she ends up. Can she get back above 100? Obviously, right now we're worrying about the $90 hurdle is a little more important, psychological level. Billy said profit taking. Oh, 100%. People took profits on gold and silver trades for sure. So it's going to be interesting to see where we end up. We got our bullish ISM manufacturers PMI. Purchasing Managers Index print yesterday, 52.6, which is well above 50. Anything above 50 is considered expansion. Every time we've seen it cross above 50, Bitcoin and the broader cryptocurrency market has had a tremendous rally, but it's not instantaneous. So we do have a waiting game ahead of us to see if that fact remains true. DXY, back above our 15-year-old trend line. We've been dancing around with it. I would argue that we're still dancing around with it. This is an important area to watch for the DXY. We did gap below it out of nowhere for some reason. We're doing really good. We were anticipating a potential break above 99.5 and then eventually try for 100, which would have been bad for markets because markets don't like a strong dollar. Markets like a weak dollar because if the dollar's collapsing, even if your investment is not doing that great, it'll most likely be doing better than the dollar, so the value of it in US dollar terms will increase. Therefore, you will have successfully hedged your bet against inflation. So a bullish dollar requires your asset to actually be worth investing in and to actually increase in real monetary value, which is scary in a world with quantitative easing and a propped up economy by the federal government. If you go your whole entire life with your parents paying all of your bills, and then all of a sudden they stop paying your bills, you've had a job the entire time, but you've never actually had to like worry about, oh no, maybe I can't make rent this month. That's what's essentially seemingly happening with the DXY and this hawkish, like strong dollar, Warsh Fed pick. I don't know. Maybe it's a weird analogy. It is what it is. You gotta decouple from from your mother's teat, and that's what we're experiencing right now, it seems. So DXY, back above our 15-year-old trend line. This trend line goes all the way back to 2011. We'll see what comes of it. As of right now, 97.65. Is this going to be a rejection, fake out back above, or is this actually us retesting, confirming support, and continuing to the upside? Time will tell. Saeed said, hi, sir. How you doing, Saeed? Guys, don't forget to smash the like button. I appreciate you guys for being here. MicroStrategy, aka Big B Coffee. We have a big boy trend line on this thing, and it is officially below it. This trend line goes, it is actually the top of our previous beautiful triangle back here. So we had a big boy triangle. And let me see, actually. Let me try something really quick. Did we break below? No, actually, we did not. So, interesting. We've got big boy triangle right here. Obviously, we broke bearish, accumulated. Big boy triangle right here, broke bullish. Triangle right here, broke bullish. No triangle, just a seemingly swing failure and continuation to the downside. What does that mean? I don't like that that is the upper trend line of our previous bullish breakout section, and we are now below that. We're at 127.10. Honestly, if we lose 125, I'm probably looking for $100 on MicroStrategy, aka Big B Coffee. If you guys are wondering why I call it Big B Coffee, it's because whoever designed their logo change to the Bitcoin logo for whatever reason chose the worst orange. It's literally the same orange as the Big B Coffee logo. I don't know who did that. That's horrible brand recognition, but whatever. It is incredibly oversold on the 4-hour time frame, so we'll see if anything comes of that. We do have a green dot at the momentum wave point to the upside. Time will tell. Vanguard did purchase some strategy on January 20th, so there's that. Nasdaq up 0.21, 0.23% on the day. We got some nice wicks indicative of some buying pressure. However, after the bullish ISM manufacturers PMI print and this insane upside on the Nasdaq, it turns out that was a fake out and it insta-dumped. It did a Marge Simpson to the downside and cleared that basically. We got a little bounce, a little dead cat bounce, continuation in the downside. We are now below what I would call the neckline if we were considering this a head and shoulders type scenario or an inverse cup and handle. We're back below that level now. Are we going to retest that, confirm that as bearish resistance, and continue to the downside? With that move, we got a attempt above the moving average on the RSI, failure, swing, resistance, confirmation right here. So, I don't know. Let's see what comes of it. We got a confirmed green dot back here, which actually is what resulted in that monster pump. We are not oversold yet, which is interesting. Red dot on the momentum wave point at the downside on Tuesday, February 3rd, which is literally this monster, the first monster candle. Let's see. I like that the RSI is curling up. Are we going to curl up and cross bullish over that moving average, or is it going to be a rejection after an attempt? Time will tell. I feel like we've seen this before. Yeah. Okay, so here's my deal. Here's my catch. We get these moves, and they're just like little lumps, little humps, little lumps, whatever you want to call them. And then eventually it breaks bullish. With that being said and showcased, where are we in the lumps here? We're on number 4. I don't know. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Eventually, maybe does this bottom out and continue? I don't know. That would be ideal, but we'll have to wait and see what actually happens with the price. We got our fractal here, which so far it's not that far off, but we do need to find a reversal soon because we're getting to the point where that decoupling, even if you do rebound, isn't really going to count. I think we're pretty much there already, but if we do shoot straight back up, then there's hope. Dang, reset yo, got the vid again. That sucks so bad, dude. That sucks so bad. Normally I would try to give you advice based on my personal experience, but I've had it once recently and I have no advice. It sucked so bad. I kept going to work. I worked by myself. I was isolated, so nobody be like, why would you do that? I wasn't like going to the drive-thru and shit. I work in an office by myself. But oh my gosh, did it suck, dude. That was probably the most sick I've ever been in my entire life. It was pretty bad. Maybe orange juice. Orange juice is cheap now. Get some vitamin D in you. You got to get that D. You don't have enough D, brother. Just fill yourself with D. You'll feel so much better. I don't know if that's true. Try vitamin C, though. The D is obviously a joke. All right, Nasdaq. Let's see what happens. S&P, potentially on the mend here. Down 0.51%. I love that I said that, and it's literally down. It's down 0.51% on the day, currently trading at 68.82. The current fractal kind of in shambles as we speak. It was really, really close, and for some reason, right here, we got a little jumble, a little messy. There's some gaps, which kind of fudged it up. Can't really fix that, to be completely honest. Obviously, no move is going to play out the exact same that it's played out in the past, but we like to think that they do, or could. So let's see, I suppose, if maybe we go up from here. Maybe we bottom out until next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, sometime next week, and then we continue to the upside. I don't know. I'm liking the rising volume. That looks nice. Here's my big question. When, are the Trump accounts live right now? Or when does that start? I'm curious. I'm actually curious. Let's see. I'm going to ask Gronk really quick. Are the Trump accounts for newborns live right now? When do they start buying? Because that'll probably for sure pump the market. Every child born is going to just inject $1,000 into the stock market, you know? or maybe even more depending on where the parents work. 2,000 if they work at like Bank of America or some crap. Let's see. What's Grok gonna say? It's taking a really, really long time, and we're gonna come back to that. S&P 500 68.82. Let's see if we can hold our Tuesday, January 20th open of 68.65. Bitcoin down 0.34. Potential, I don't know, what is this? If it's 3 wicks, that's not a tweezer bottom at that point. What would that be? A treeser bottom? That was stupid. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Bitcoin dominance down 0.22% on the day, currently trading at 59.36. Is this going to result in some semblance of alt season? That would be pretty cool. I will say, I've been pleasantly surprised that like every time I look at Bitcoin and I'm like, oh shoot, Bitcoin's down 3-4%. And then I check everything else. Alts are down barely like 2-3%. Gold and silver are green as hell. And the stock market could care less what Bitcoin's doing. So that's been pretty interesting. Seeing Bitcoin kind of decouple. I mean, it's to the downside, but if I'm not 100% allocated to Bitcoin, what do I care? As long as something's going up, I'm happy, you know? Cheers, guys. Happy Wednesday. Appreciate you guys for being here. Let's see. Grok said, no, Trump accounts for newborns are not fully live or operational as of February 2026. Parents or guardians currently elect open an account for eligible children under the age with a special $1,000 government seed for those born January 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2028 by submitting IRS Form 4547 or checking box blah, blah, blah. That's when, okay, the accounts themselves are in pre-launch phase and won't activate until July 4th or 5th, 2026. Guys, that's actually pretty sick. Timed around America's 250th anniversary, they are going to launch. That's so poetic. There's going to be stock market fireworks on the 4th of July because of this. That's really funny. The $1,000 Treasury seed deposit will occur for qualifying newborns upon activation. Optional private contributions up to $5,000 per year from parents, family, employers, etc. can begin. The funds will start buying, meaning they will be automatically invested, typically in broad index funds tracking American companies or U.S. stock market and S&P 500 equivalents for long-term growth. Just for the record, S&P 500 average annual return, I believe, overall is around 10 or 11% per year, which is pretty sick. Until then, no deposits, contributions, or investing are active. Okay, cool. Thank you, Grok. All right, let's get into the news segment. Ladies and gentlemen, Raoul Pal posted the game you should be playing. Market cap from 3 trillion to 100 trillion in the next 8 to 10 years. Strategy, hold high quality assets and do nothing. Hell yeah. If you guys want to read this whole thing, it's a whole thread. Go check it out. Give Raoul Pal a follow. I'm sure you're already following him. He's got 1.3 million followers, but let's see what happens with the total crypto market cap. TechDev posted, rare post from TechDev. TechDev has been more active lately, which leads me to think something's about to change. $200 was the new $2. 3K was the new 200. 15K was the new 3. 65K was the new 15. Happens every single time. What is going to be the new 65K, you ask? I don't know. It's probably going to be higher than 65K, though. Let's see. Or maybe that's what he's saying. We're going to 65K. Elon Musk becomes first person in history to surpass a $850 trillion net worth. $1 trillion? Yeah. Is that real? No, that's not real. Billion. It's billion. My bad. JJ Math. I apologize. It's like, wow. Binance buys another $100 million worth of Bitcoin for its Seifu fund. Wow. That's crazy. Peter Schiff says China is too smart to care about Bitcoin. They're buying gold. Wow. Good job, Peter Schiff. I love that China buying gold is the equivalent of gold going up. How long did it take to do this? Let's see. From August 2025, let's go down here right here. China buying gold. That's a 50%. That's pretty decent. That's pretty, I'm not going to talk crap about it. That's a good gain. But why you gotta, I don't know. Peter Schiff is a weird guy. He's a weird fella. I feel like nobody would know who he was if it wasn't for Bitcoiners talking shit. Treasury Secretary Bessent says tariffs do not cause inflation. I think that we've proved that, actually. Treasury Secretary Bessent defends President Trump's Bitcoin reserve while testifying in Congress. The asset seizure, that $1 billion of Bitcoin was seized, $500 million was retained, and that $500 million has become over $15 billion. That's a pretty hard flex. I'm not going to lie, that's pretty sick. Treasury Secretary Bessent says he does not have the authority to use taxpayer funds to buy Bitcoin. To be honest, and I think that he also specified nobody does. I don't think that that's a thing that we're talking about here. Michael Saylor's strategy currently has $2.1 billion in, or is that trillion? Am I making shit up? It is billion. I don't know why I can't read today. Unrealized loss on its Bitcoin investment. That sucks so bad. Could you imagine? ETH falls under 2,100. See, unfortunately, stuff like this is what gets people into thinking, well, if I would have just sold at the top, which is the easiest thing in the world to think. If I would have just bought the Bitcoin bottom and sold the Bitcoin top, I'd have X amount of dollars. It is so easy to think that. That is the equivalent of thinking, if my mom and dad just gave me $1 million, I would have $1 million. Or if I found $1 million, I would have $1 million. It's literally the same thing, and they all sound crazy. The problem is one of them is a lot easier to justify in your brain because you're like, well, I buy and sell Bitcoin all the time. And now I feel like back then I knew that it was around the top, which is hindsight. So you think that you can sell the exact top. Reset, get it under control, man. I don't know what to tell you. It's Wednesday. There is no control. The control has left the building. ETH fell under 2,100. What's it at right now? ETH currently trading at 2,164. All right. Trying to hold it together. 82% chance Bitcoin falls below 70K. Now, we did talk about this. I'm calling for 70. And we talked about previous bear markets and how those are structured. So we are not going to be surprised if this is a real bear market, if we see 70K. Let's see. This bear market happened. Bitcoin bottomed out, I'm going to say around 18, and then it eventually broke down to 15. So I would not be surprised if it does the same thing right here. If this is the same kind of market, if it goes down to 60 or it goes down to 70, and then it just, that brief break right there, that little fake out right there, goes down to 65. Just a guess, but we'll see what happens. Look at this. This is the weekly. Bitcoin is almost oversold. Very, very close to being oversold. Current level on the RSI, it looks like 30.3. 30.3, yeah. Last time we were at 30.3 was July 11th, 2022. July 11th, 2022, right here. Bitcoin was at about 20K. Interesting. So right now it seems like we're at Bitcoin's 20K, which is right just above 70K. I'm actually going to stick with my 65 to 70K range for bottoming out. That's what I'm going to stick with. John Tujo said, I'm going with 66 to 80 or 68.5 bottom, then rockets. I like it. Tom Selleck Scout said sneeze, and we're at 70. Exactly. Reese said ETH to 10K. Yeah, I mean, I like the fast drop. I like the fast drop. This was torturous. So I much prefer this to this 100%. Give me this all day, every day. That being said, it's definitely incredibly different from top to bottom so far. You know, we're at 40% and it only took us 126 days. From here, 40% took, let's see, top to bottom, 40%, 63 days? Oh, that was quicker. Interesting. But then we lingered there. We lingered, holy crap, we lingered for a total of 168 days? Whew. Yeah, that sucks, dude. That sucks so bad. A couple more weeks. Yeah, screw that. No thanks. So that's very interesting. Are we going to have, I understand diminishing returns. Is there going to be diminishing pullbacks? Because, like, we pulling back, let's say, just for example, 90% here, 40% here, 20%, you know, what's, obviously that's not the actual numbers, but like if we go 90, 60, and then 50, who knows? It's probably on a sliding scale. I would assume that something like that's going to take place over time. That's just, it seems like such an anomaly. If you really look at the grand scheme. I guess that's what it always seems like, though. Like when Bitcoin was doing this, people probably thought it was just going to do this and then do more and then keep going and whatever. And they were like, oh my gosh, it's going to keep maintaining this entire thing. And it didn't. You know, it came all the way down here. And then it went up really a lot faster. So it's pulling back a lot faster. 4-year cycle, no extended bull run ever. I don't know. I think the 4-year cycle is already bummed too because we hit a new all-time high way before the 4-year cycle would have dictated. We hit an all-time high after just 3 years. So I think arguably the 4-year cycle was dead back then. So if anything, it's a 3-year cycle. John Tujo said 1 more week of bleeding, then it's showtime. Yeah, I like Q1, Q2. I'm not looking for October, man. If it is a actual 4-year cycle bear market, then we have to wait until October for the bottom to hit. And then from there, we will slowly start to climb up. Look at this bottoming structure. We actually hit bottom, and then it took, I'm going to call this the breakout, 483, just over a year of that bottoming structure. So from top to bottom, it took us 217 days. And then from there, it took 490 days to finally break out, for a total of, from top to the bottom where we finally started to climb out, 700 days. So just about 2 years. You get 2 years of bleed and then slow recovery. Now, that's not to say you can just walk away and come back in October 2027, because personally, for me, right here, the altcoins recovering from this climbing up, right here is where I made more money than I've ever made in my entire life. This move, this specific move on Bitcoin, made more money than I've ever made in my entire life when that happened. The taxes were a bitch that year. But that's what happens. And you end up having a grand old time, I'll tell you what. So, $72,495 on Bitcoin. How long is it going to take for us to bottom out? Is it going to happen a lot faster? Who knows? But I'm in it, man. I'm excited. Everyone says that everything's going to happen this way because that's the way that it's happened in the past. I'm calling bullshit because every time everyone says that that's how the things happened in the past, so they're going to happen this way now, and everyone agrees, that doesn't happen. Doesn't play out like that. John, yep. Reese said just base the pullback off the 4-year cycles and how low it went. Unless it's diminished pullback, then it goes to new all-time high. You got to base it on the 4-year cycles drop because there's no data for small pullback. That's true. That's true. So if we are doing that, then let's go take a look at that, because that's the real way to look at it. Actual previous pullback from top to bottom. Let me zoom in so I can get really accurate. I'm going to go Pico top right here. 68.9. To bottom, it was about 77%. 88 Metal Mania said, I don't think Bitcoin will see all-time high for many, many years, in my opinion. So 78%. Let's see what 78% looks like over here then. From top to bottom. Jeez. 78%. We're looking at 27,000. Jesus. 27,000. So the previous bull market to that, from top to bottom. See, look at that, dude. Could you imagine this? Is that the, yeah, that's the pandemic crash. That price sucked so bad. That price sucked so bad. At least it was quick. All right, from top to bottom over here, arguably the first real bull market was 84. So we went from 84 to 77. That is -7. So let's just -7 again. 77 minus 7, that's 70. What does 70% pullback look like over here? And that's just based on a simple pattern. 70% pullback from top to bottom. We're looking at approximately 37K, 40K. There you go. I don't think we're going to get that far, but you never know, man. You never know. Look at how oversold we are on the daily, man. Let's see. 88 metals reset. I made 1 million this cycle and held it back to 100K. LOL. Next cycle will be 1 to 10 million. Nice. John Tujo said XRP will be $100 if Bitcoin gets to 27K. $100? Why? I do enjoy the idea of Bitcoin dumping so much that something flips it. Just the chaotic brain in my body is like, what if that happened? That'd be crazy. But, we'll see. We'll see, man. We will see. This thing's super oversold on the daily. It's kind of crazy. We were oversold that bad. Looks like right here. February 2025. And that was a little temporary bounce between. And then we climbed up and made new all-time high. Maybe that's what's going to happen. That'd be kind of crazy, wouldn't it? What if we recoupled to this stupid fractal? Okay, we're getting distracted. Let's go to the news segment, guys. I apologize. We got 16 people watching, guys. Don't forget to smash the like button. I appreciate you guys for being here. If you guys want to participate in the poll in the chat, I would appreciate that. Also, just participating in the chat helps the channel out a lot. Reset. If it did it before, you got to go off the data. 37K doesn't make me feel better than 27K. I mean, that's a 10K difference. The difference between 27K and 37K is almost 50%. Mr. Roberts said, hello, JJ. Hello, fellow nut tuggers, which means Mr. Roberts is also a nut tugger, which is mildly concerning. Let's see, 82% chance Bitcoin falls below $70,000 on Watcher Guru. Honestly, this is a decent hedge. Like, if you're a Bitcoin guy and you have Bitcoin, go place this bet. Say, yes, it's going to fall below 70K. Because if it does, then you will get paid out on this bet. You know, it's only a 19% increase, but that's probably going to recoup some of your losses from Bitcoin dropping below 70K. I'm just saying. Just in CME Group explores launching its own crypto token. This right here is my biggest concern. Everyone's talking about, oh my gosh, mass adoption, mass adoption. Why would I, as a big conglomerate, take on any risk adopting your random blockchain, that your dev made in his mom's basement, when I can just make my own and have the utmost security and faith in my own system that I have full control over? You know what I mean? John said, will you check Banker Coin? I've been day trading that one for the past week or so when done with the news. Yes, I can. Remind me if I do not remember. Appreciate you, John. So, Bitcoin fell under 72K. It's currently at 72,630. It seems like whenever they report it, it instantly recovers, which is kind of funny. We've read so many of these, and we go look at the price, and it's like couple $1,000 higher. This one cracked me up. Polygon, because Vitalik was like, L2s aren't really worth having anymore because ETH is the L2. He essentially basically said L2s aren't worth having anymore. And Polygon, who's like the most famous ETH L2, arguably, came out and they said, due to market conditions, we now identify as a side chain. Which I thought was really clever. That was funny. Despite them changing their name 5 or 6 times, whoever they hired on as their intern for X, they had a sense of humor. Mr. Roberts said, I'm buying hard at 55 to 65K channel. I'm just buying hard every Friday, man. Just as hard as I was buying last month, just as hard as I was buying last year. Buy hard, play hard. Live free or buy hard. Buy hard too with vengeance. TechDev posted, been warning of this exact ETH move since November. Look at that. That'll be interesting. Honestly, if something like this plays out, everyone's going to crap their pants because the 4-year cycle will be crash. And I'm going to laugh at those people if that happens. Stablecoin Mint, according to Marty Party, Tether issued another 1 billion USDT on Tron. That's really, really cute for Justin Sun. I'm very happy for him. Today, the Washington Post announced massive layoffs affecting approximately 1/3 of its entire staff across all departments, not limited to the newsroom. Here's my next issue when it comes to employment. That stupid little, 24-hour of actual, business hour government shutdown that we just had is apparently going to affect jobs data, which is going to affect the Fed, which is going to affect interest rates, which is going to affect my pockets. And I don't like that. So they need to release this data so the Fed can go, oh, yep, jobs look really bad. We need to do an emergency rate cut right now and pump my bags, if that's what's going to happen with the data. But it's very coincidental that they continue to delay or just refuse to release this jobs data based on very convenient government shutdowns. It's starting to bug me. Why does one day, there's the system should not be held up by toothpicks to where one day the whole system comes crumbling down. Oh, the government shut down one day. None of this stuff is going to work now because the government shut down for one day. The entire United States just suddenly is dissolved. It ceases to exist. Just do that at that point because they're bugging me with that bullshit. 88 Metals Mania said, I never understood the whole pension jumping into crypto. I don't think older folks are willing to risk their retirements on a volatile investment. See, that's where it's definitely got to be very, very heavily regulated. I don't know. The pensions definitely seems risky. 401k, I guess, just as risky. You should be able to opt in if you want to, and maybe a certain percentage. But I understand it is incredibly volatile, and that's why we diversify. But I'm not a 401k or a pension. I'm a random degenerate who started off in crypto and learned to diversify because of how volatile it is. TNT Media said, what up, JJ? Hey, man, look at Tether. This is not normal, friend. What do you mean, like dominance? What's not normal? Market cap dumping? That means people are just getting the heck out. Dominance pumping. So, if you're talking about dominance, 88 Metals Mania said shuts down for a day, just so happens to be the day's... yeah, that day's Sunday. Right. That's what I mean. And they're like, oh, Sunday was the day that we were going to collect all the jobs data, and our schedule's so tight that we can't now. Ah, what? That was the day that we were going to do all the actual work. It's such bullshit, dude. Also, what are they going door to door collecting this data? Why is it so hell-bent on people? Shouldn't it be automated? Can't this be automated for like the sake of our taxes? Like, I understand somebody has a job. Can't you utilize them elsewhere instead of them being like, how many people did you hire this month? How many people did you fire this month? How many people did you interview this month? Whatever. And then what? It's just bullshit. It's so silly to me. It's 2026. We have freaking AI, but we still have physical people. I guess once a month collecting jobs data in person. It doesn't make any sense. There's no oversight. It's silly to think that we have to have oversight for every single position because of the amount of fraud and neglect and just incompetence that's run rampant. Did you know that it costs $1.5 billion to build the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building on planet Earth? Costs $1.5 billion. Guess what costs more? The renovations to the Federal Reserve's headquarters cost more. $2.5 billion. They're paying 66%, like a Burj Khalifa and a half. 166% of a Burj Khalifa to renovate the Federal Reserve building. Blows my mind. I just found that out the other day. I had to make a post on X. I was like, how is nobody talking about this? It's crazy. That is why Powell is being investigated. And sure, maybe they were going to overlook it if he was going to play ball. But he's not playing ball. So if you're not going to play ball and you're doing something stupid, we're going to call you out for doing something stupid. Trump literally said, and regardless of what you think of him as a businessman, he might have been a shitty businessman. He might have been a great businessman. He works in construction. That's a big part of housing and development. He said he could have done all of that for like $25 million. Powell's out here doing it for 2.5 billion with a B. I don't know. I could go on about it for forever. It blows my mind. I don't understand how that was allowed to happen. You build a new building at that point. Demolish the old one. Build a new one. We'll give you some money for double wide, brother. It's going to be okay. I'm sure the Federal Reserve can live without, like, solid gold toilets. Jesus Christ. Okay. TNT Media said 87% plus of trading volume flows through USDT. We are so effing cooked if USDT depegs here. Why would it depeg? You're saying it's depegging? I don't understand what I'm supposed to be looking at. The market cap is dropping a little bit, and the dominance is pumping, which I think this is going to continue to pump for forever if stablecoin adoption is just going to happen perpetually. 88 Metals Mania said, but I agree, it's over budget like everything the government does. It's just 2.5 billion. Doesn't make sense to me. Tom Selleck said, or hear me out. Trump is trying to push him out, and that's why he's investigating him. And that's the normal cost for what the renovations are. Cost this is America, and we're not in Abu Dhabi. I work in construction, and I have the bougiest clients on the planet. There's not a planet where it would cost $2.5 billion to renovate fucking anything. It probably costs less to resurface the Titanic and to rebuild it from scratch would probably cost less than $2.5 billion. That is an insane amount of money. 88 Minutes Mania said, can we at least get a gold toilet flushing handle? Shit, JJ. Taking all the luxury out of taking a shit. I'll give you guys will get gold, like, spray. So when you shit, you can get up, you can look at your shit and go, ooh! And it'll be gold before you flush it. You can post a picture on Instagram. That's the best I can do. Skull Cruncher said, short silver. You think short silver? Really? That's a ballsy move. Silver is down 1.33%. It does actually look like it's going to go down. Oh no! My long is at 82.48. Is it going to take a big fat dumperino? That would suck. I mean, only, like I said, it's not too much money, so if it goes to zero, I don't really care. Bitcoin is getting dumpy too, though. What a weird time. I don't know. I think midterms are normally shitty years anyways. Like post-election years normally suck, so we might just be in for a bad year. TNT Media, I need to know the exact chart. Cobb just posted on X. Is that what you're talking about? Who's Cobb? Cobb. I think I need more context. I'm just going to look up Cobb USDT. Nope. I got nothing. This Ripple guy? This guy posted 87% plus of trading volume flows through USDT. We are so effing cooked of USDT. Why would it ever depeg, though? That's such a random thing to say. I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me. USDT is like one of the largest holders of gold outside of central banks, so it's silly to think that it would ever depeg. There's been Tether FUD for decades, and it has become one of the strongest players. And I think, I genuinely, truly believe now at this point, with all the information that's come to light, I truly believe that all of the Tether FUD was coordinated by central banks. I do. By big banks. They wanted everyone to think stablecoins are the devil because they're one-to-one backed and they're at risk of depegging, and like, for all we know, maybe they staged Do Kwon and freaking CZ and all that stuff just to get people to really believe in the dollar. And big banks, don't do crypto. Don't do stable coins. You guys got to get out of this stuff. It's bad. Come to banks. Come, fractional reserve. Come home. It's safe here. Come to us. Come to daddy. It's creepy. They're psycho, dude. Jamie Dimon needs to take a chill pill. Yeah, bidet has to go. Bidet has to go. You guys get a spray bottle, and that's it. And the spray bottle doesn't even work upside down. So you got to stand up. We're going ghetto. We're going ghetto at the Fed. Mr. Roberts said the Fed uses lagging data to allow an arbitrage for the markets. They will continue that whether our base is the dollar or crypto. We've talked about it though. Strong dollar obviously makes it so that we don't have to hedge as much, so it'll make life a lot easier, which is probably better for the long run. I think I'd rather chill in my day-to-day than, try to trade my way to fame and glory. I don't know. There's some analogy there, I'm sure. Stablecoin mint 10 minutes ago, another 250 million USDC issued by Circle Treasury on Solana. Sounds like a shitty deal, 100%. This was cute. The official Binance account on December 3rd, 2025, highlighting a quote from Alice Liu, who is the head of research at CoinMarketCap, often abbreviated as CMC, which is owned by Binance. The post features her speaking at an event, likely Binance's Blockchain Week, where she discussed crypto market cycles. She said, and I quote, "We are going to see a market comeback in Q1 of 2026. February and March will be a bull market again based on a combination of macro indicators." Ooh, that'd be pretty crazy. Is she kind of hot? Am I allowed to say that? No opinion. Gold prices surge back above $5,000 an ounce, now up 17% in 48 hours. Yeah, gold, silver, everything has been so crazy volatile. It's been incredibly entertaining to watch. Like, as a holder, I'm so numb to this at this point because of how crazy everything's been up and down. It's not even a meme anymore. The people going on the roller coaster where it's like somebody who just bought Bitcoin, and then it's like somebody who's been in Bitcoin for 3 cycles, and the guy who just bought Bitcoin is like, oh my gosh, and the other guy's just staring at him like, while they're going through the roller coaster, they're like, and he's just staring at the guy like nothing. Reese said, when depeg happens, the price of USDT is not 1-to-1 USD. Yes, I understand, but why would Tether depeg? It hasn't depegged. So to just say that randomly, obviously we're going to be effed if any stablecoin depegs. Tether or Circle. Like, that's a silly thing to say. We're also effed if the US dollar inflates 100%. If a meteor strikes all of the Bitcoin miners, then we're so screwed. Guys, we are so screwed if Satoshi sells all of his Bitcoin. That's just a random crazy thing to post. For no reason, seemingly. It happens many times till they're always fixed and bought back to bring price 1-to-1 USD. Yeah, but when it depegs by like 1/10 of 1 penny. Who cares? Sorry. 88, or John said, that was definitely an opinion. I knew what it meant. I don't know what you're talking about. 88 Metals Mania said, what are the indicators CZ feeding her info since he can predict the future and see what the people are betting on? I'd think owning an exchange let alone the biggest one gives you a leg up on data, eh? I don't know. It has depegged before, you're not wrong, but it's never been detrimental. USDT to USD. Actually, I think I can just look that up. There we go. Yeah, it fluctuates there for forever. It's literally always done this. And the wicks are liquidity based. This is specific to Coinbase. This is Bitstamp. See, look, Bitstamp has shitty liquidity, so there's going to be crazy wicks, which actually isn't Tether's fault. Contrary to popular belief. What's the best one to look at? Probably capital.com or crypto. Yeah. See, look at this. What? Who cares? This is bad. 2018? But even then, 95 cents? Big freaking deal. That was probably peak FUD. When you really zoom out, this thing's like never really lost $1, for being completely honest. You could say that this is inflation and deflation. But look at it stabilize. Look at that. That's beautiful. 2023, what the hell happened in 2023? USDT over USDC, to be honest. I actually trust Tether more than anything else. I really do. I really do. And you know what? If I get burned because of that, then so be it. But I'm not sitting here holding all of my money in Tether. So if Tether collapses, it's not really going to matter to me. That would obviously be a really bad thing for the market over time, over a very short period of time, I'm sure. But I don't think it's something to really be worried about ever. You know, I think it's a silly thing to talk about. But maybe I'll end up being wrong. Inflation and deflation. uh, John Tujo said about old girl being hot. You made a noise and said no opinion. LOL. Oh, you said that was definitely an opinion. I knew what it meant. Okay, I got it. Thank you. Thank you for specifying, John. Bitcoin, $72,134.95, officially down 1.43. This is what I was talking about. ETH only down 0.9. Doesn't give a crap about Bitcoin. Sol down 0.9. Doesn't give a crap about Bitcoin. ADA down 0.49. Doesn't give a crap about Bitcoin. XRP. XRP is down 3.16. Definitely gives a crap about Bitcoin. Damn, XRP, you need to chill out. H bar. I was not expecting that. Gold and silver. Silver definitely gives a crap. What the hell? Gold, can't be bothered. There's a weird market, man. There's a weird market. I'm going to ask Grok some stupid questions. Let's ask Grok some stupid questions. Stocks, crypto, and metals have all been incredibly volatile lately. Why? What is happening now that hasn't happened before? Never ever seen the market move like this. It's blowing my mind. John 88 Metal said, I store in USDT over USDC to be honest. Inflation, deflation, LOL. Saeed said, till Trump is the president of America, we can't predict any direction of the market. Even Indians' markets get affected by Trump's single statement. Yeah. And that's crazy considering he picked Warsh, and Warsh is a dollar maxi. And everything Trump is doing is literally like forcing the dollar to get weaker and weaker. I don't know what's happening now. This is an anomaly to me. Of course, the fall was an anomaly too. This whole thing, this market is incredibly unpredictable, and I think everyone's just kind of holding on to their butts, waiting to see what happens tomorrow. You know, it's a weird time. What if this is literally just like the economy like doing better and like inflation going away, and we're so like we haven't seen that since like the maybe mid 2000s, so we're all like, what the heck is this? What is this? The dollar's increasing in value? What the hell? Why would that happen? Everyone's freaking out because because everything's like nice except for like Wall Street. Low volume. Mr. Roberts said, JJ, can you take the fractal again from July 2020 to July 2022 and lay it over this cycle? It's literally the same. This time is not different. Okay. I think I have that saved somewhere. We did talk about this recently. So far, it does look the same. I'm going to go to the weekly, and we're going to zoom out, and then I'm going to find the right damn chart. This one? No. Binance. Yeah, it's that one. Okay. So this is word for word, shot for shot, the same exact fractal. If this is indeed the same, then we're going to bottom out at around 65K, which is what we talked about. So we'll keep an eye out for that. This is also calling for October, which aligns perfectly with our little thesis, which I'm not going to take credit for that. That is strictly based on this guy right here. This guy pointed out all-time low to all-time high over and over again. Same thing. 1 year, 3 years, 1 year, 3 years. 4-year cycle is a 4-year cycle. The simulation is real. This guy posted this on December 12th, 2023, and he talked about 2025, October 6th, which, by the way, October 6th, 2025 was the exact top of Bitcoin. So, just saying. Saeed said, nice mimicry. Thank you. All right. So, yeah, this is what we got. And so far it is overlaid perfectly. You know, take your pick. Obviously, this little slump right here lasted a little bit longer. 77 days versus what we have right now so far is 63 days. So 1 week difference. Ours is dumping sooner. Argument to be made here? Kind of nothing. Honestly, there's no argument to be made. I actually really like this for the bottom as well because it lines up very nicely with the top, previous top. So I don't hate it. I do not hate it. And look, if it is how it's going to play out, if this is exactly how it's going to play out, we pretty much played out already. You know, what are we going to do from here? Go sideways? Big whoop. Tough to deny it. Exactly. I mean, it's silly to deny it at this point. We know we've entered a bear market because we crossed below the bull market support band, so that much cannot be argued at all. Bitcoin is continuing to dump. For some reason, dominance is losing it, and altcoins are holding up really well. That's an anomaly right now. Altcoins are already at bear market lows. So I suppose a counter argument could be made that maybe instead of Bitcoin going all the way down to 60, 65K, that maybe the bottom is 70K. And that's why alts are at bear market lows and actually holding their own while Bitcoin tries to go down further. I don't know. I have no idea, honestly. Maybe I'm not gonna say his name. The island guy whose name starts with the E, the J-E guy, is Satoshi. And maybe he's dumping some of his secret bags that people don't know about. Maybe that's true. Maybe Tether's depegging and Do Kwon and CZ are actually related. And Sam Bankman-Fried is innocent, along with P. Diddy and all the other criminals. R. Kelly. I'm sorry. That was insensitive. Clearly R. Kelly's guilty. There's never been a more guilty person on the planet than R. Kelly. God, what a weirdo. Okay, Bitcoin nearing these lower liquidation points. Interesting. Let's see if we hit them. We're getting so distracted. I love when the streams devolve. I feel like it's been happening more and more often. Silver down 6.47%, currently trading at $82.63. Get a big fat dumperino. Is this bad boy finished? An attempted bounce resulting in some downside here. We got top, rejection, bounce, hopefully support. Otherwise, if we don't get support, then it is going to probably break below 80 and go down. If we lose 75, then it's probably going down to 50. Don't sell your ditty bag. $83 for silver. Let's see what Grok said. Grok said recent volatility across stocks, crypto, metals stems primarily from sharp reversal in precious metals after a prolonged rally, triggering widespread deleveraging and risk reduction across asset classes. Precious metals Precious metals crash. In February 2026, gold and silver experienced extreme price swings, with silver dropping 30% in a single day, its worst performance since 1980, and gold futures falling about 11%. This followed a ferocious rally in precious metals earlier in the year of late 2025, driven by haven demand and amid uncertainty. The sudden plunge appears tied to flushing out of leverage positions, speculative excess, broader risk-off sentiment. How is it risk? What? That one doesn't make sense, Grok. If precious metals are haven demand, like a flight to safety, then why would risk-off be the reason it was dumping? That doesn't make sense. Gold's 30-day volatility briefly surpassed Bitcoin's, reaching levels not seen since 2008. Interesting little date there. Crypto spillover. Bitcoin saw massive liquidations, over 2.5 billion, and dropped below 80,000 with intraday swings, reflecting forced selling in derivatives rather than fundamental shifts. Impacts on stocks. Stocks have been mixed. Some indexes retreated or faced pressure, especially Nasdaq and tech AI-related names, while others held up or rallied amid rotation into defensives. But overall, volatility rose as the commodities rout spilled over. The VIX climbed as traders repriced uncertainty. What's unique or amplified now compared to past volatility episodes? Historic extremes in metals. Silver's one-day crash and gold's volatility spike rival or exceed post-2008 crisis levels, driven by modern leverage trading and ETF derivatives exposure. So, honest to God, with Bitcoin, with stocks, with precious metals, it genuinely seems like all of this craziness that we're seeing unfold is a result of looser regulations and them literally allowing gambling to pop up everywhere. You want to gamble on the stock market? Go ahead. You want to gamble on precious metals? Go ahead. You want to gamble on cryptocurrency? Go ahead. You want to gamble on whether or not Trump's going to say the word fart at his next press conference? Go ahead. And everyone's like, ooh, gamble, gamble, gamble. And then we all lose our money. And we're like, what happened? What? You mean gambling is not like a reasonable foundation to build a society upon? Since when? So maybe it's supposed to happen this way. Maybe the short is the way to go. Mr. Robert said, if it fully plays out, we buy in September this year. Yeah, prediction markets sucking liquidity out of tokens. 100%, dude. Prediction markets are so much fun. Highly recommend. If you guys are interested at all and you want to help support the channel, sign up with Kalshi. My link in the description. It is a referral link. If you trade $25 or more, we both earn $25. It is non-withdrawable site credit, though. So it's not like free money. You can bet with it and win money. So it's kind of like a free $25. But like I said, it is gambling. Treat it like gambling. Help support the channel. It's entirely up to you. CoinMarketCap, Fear and Greed, 14. I had no idea that Binance owned CoinMarketCap. I literally just found that out today from the potentially sexually attractive Asian woman. Moving on. Silver prices surge back above $90 an ounce, now up 28% in 48 hours. Not anymore. Silver prices dumped below $90 an ounce, now trading at $82.57. That was posted 13 hours ago. Extreme volatility, pretty crazy. Sales of electric vehicles in China last year hit a record 13.1 million vehicles, exceeding ICE car sales for the first time. I didn't know ICE bought that many cars. They should fix that acronym. Sales of internal combustion engine vehicles in China fell to 13% year over year to 12.3 million in 2025, the lowest in 15 years. I would like to see how long these electric cars actually last, like by comparison. What is the actual prolonged lifespan? Because I like me a good 2008 Chrysler Town and Country. You know, am I going to be able to continue to drive a Tesla 20, 30 years after it was manufactured? That's a good question. I do know electronics, so I could maybe potentially fix it. Wait until they have like bootlegged Tesla mechanics. That's going to be kind of fun. This marks the 8th annual consecutive, I made that word up. This marks the 8th consecutive annual decline. Since the 2017 peak, sales of ICE vehicles have fallen 49%, or 11.6 million. It is projected that China will sell 21.2 million EVs and 4.9 million combustion engine vehicles in 2030. The global electric vehicle race is intensifying. Crazy. Metal Mania said eventually they will be like TVs, throwaways, right? Dude, I love how cheap TVs are. I was looking at new TVs the other day. I was like, dang, do we just want to get like a 90-inch TV? It's like $300. You can get big ass TVs for like less than $500 now, which blows my mind. The EU Parliament has agreed to resume work on implementing the trade deal between the US and the European Union. Honestly, this might be the catalyst that we need. Not that it really, like, what does it matter anymore? If we're genuinely looking at this shit right here, which we kind of have no choice at this point. if we're genuinely looking at this, where the hell is it? There it is. Then, you know, we're already at the freaking bottom. Who cares? Oh, everyone's like, oh my gosh, Bitcoin's going to 60K. We're at 72, man. It's okay. It's going to be okay. I think we're going to be fine. Like, it kind of just came out of nowhere. What were we at, 80 yesterday? I don't really give a shit anymore. You know? I'm not trying to be, like, pretentious or rude or anything like that, but I'm just going to keep dollar cost averaging. And if it takes 4 more years, then so be it. That's why we diversify. Freaking start a landscaping company at this point. Make more money than crypto. Delicious. We'll see what Daddy Trump decides to do for midterms, because he's got to win our vote somehow. Man, this is such a crazy thing to look at, honestly. Thank you, Mr. Roberts, for bringing that up. This is crazy. Should we go from top? If we go from the actual, like if we line up the Pico tops, then our bottom technically would be around 65K. Whoa, that's actually my call right there. So I'm going to go, what is it, 60? I'm just going to go 64 for that bottom. Right there. Let's do it like that. I like it. We'll continue to reference this. But for now, let's see what happens. 4-hour time frame, $72,315. 88 Metals Mania said Pride give you some money and say it's from his tariffs. Dude, I'm totally down. Send it. Send it, Don. I'm ready. I'm ready to receive the tariff revenue. Okay. President Trump says he had a phone call with China's President Xi, and they have an extremely good relationship. Trump says they discussed China buying oil from the U.S. and lifting soybean purchases to 20 million metric tons. Wow. Very cool. Bitcoin falls below 75,000 and ETH falls below 2,200 as the crypto sell-off accelerates. Bitcoin is now down 15% year to date. Wow. AMD, yesterday, I think Bar Chart posted Advanced Money Destroyer or something like that. AMD ticker, it was really funny. Extends its decline to minus 18% on the day, now on track for its biggest daily decline since 2018. The drop comes after AMD provided weaker than expected earnings guidance. Damn, that's crazy. Silver prices post a massive reversal, falling $9 an ounce in under 3 hours. Gold prices also fall $220 an ounce in under 3 hours. This was 9 hours ago. It has been a choppy, volatile week. Look at this. Every single day, they're like, silver pump, silver reversal, silver midday pump, silver midday reversal, pump reversal. Every time the price moves $1 or $2, they're like, oh my gosh, I have to write another tweet. Plot twist, he's sending them out in Trump tokens. No! Oh man, that would be so funny, dude. That would be so funny. Oh shit. I kind of hope he does that now. They're gonna come out with Trump wallet first, so that way you have to make the wallet. Silver prices post a massive reversal. Oh my god. Did I read this already? Okay, I did. That's right. My bad. I was about to be like, again? Nuclear talks between the U.S. and Iran scheduled for Friday have reportedly been canceled. Oil prices are surging to $65 a barrel on the news. What? ETH falls below 2,100 for the first time since May 2025, now down 30% year to date. Dude, the short sellers are partying right now. Breaking, U.S. technology stocks dropped sharply amid a mounting sell-off in crypto and rising tensions between U.S. and Iran. Since when do we give a shit about the relationship between the United States and Iran? That's so minuscule and odd to me. Maybe I'm being insensitive, but who gives a crap? AMD down 17, Palantir down 14, Palantir, that's garbage stock. Micron down 12. Broadcom down 8, Nvidia down 5, Tesla down 5, Intel down 5, Meta down 4, IBM down 4, Alphabet, Google down 3. Nasdaq 100 is now down 2.2% on the day. Oil going up is good for me. Oil going up, I mean, my gas prices haven't changed at all anyways. Do you follow Hut 8 at all, JJ? I do not. I do not. MicroStrategy hits its lowest level since September 2024 as the company's Bitcoin position nears a minus $3 billion loss. The stock is now down 78% since November 2024 record high. Saw some crazy theories out there that they are trying to force Sailor to essentially fold, which we've seen all these stories before, but they're trying to force Sailor to like file some form of bankruptcy or get liquidated or whatever. He buys spot, so I don't think that can happen. But the concept or the end game of this conspiracy, I think I gotta go tinfoil for this one, would be that J.P. Morgan or one of the big banks, Citi, freaking Bank of America, who knows, would essentially seize control over MicroStrategy's stash, which doesn't sound that crazy. But who knows? Who knows? Thank you for tuning into that conspiracy. 36% of you guys are saying cash. We got 22 votes. I asked you guys, where's the smart money going right now? Gold and silver, 32%. 23% said buying the Bitcoin dip. 36% is our prevailing winner, cash USD, and 9% is the loser. 9% saying stock market. 88 Metal Mania said his accounting is special. Okay, so it's someone on X that I should follow, you're saying. Let me see. Hut 8. Oops. Hut 8. Maybe not. Hut 8 Corp. Okay, I understand. Hut 8 Corp. His accounting is special. Maybe you're talking about something that I'm talking about on... Okay. Sailor's accounting. All right, I got it. Damn. We're just going to gloss over that. Pretend that didn't happen. All right. Next. China is winning the electricity race. China now generates a record 10,000 terawatt hours of electricity annually. Meanwhile, the U.S. produces 4,500 terawatt hours, or minus 55% less than China's output. Since 2019, Chinese power generation has surged 2,500 terawatt hours, or 33%. Over the same period, the U.S. has added just 221 terawatt hours, or 6%, while Europe recorded a 110 decline. Why does Europe suck so bad, man? I feel bad. That's funny. In other words, China's electricity generation has grown 11 times faster than the U.S. over the last 6 years. The energy gap has never been wider. 88 Metal Mania said Hut 8 is a miner going over to AI data center. China for 1.4 billion folks too. Honestly, I think AI is the biggest disruption potential to Bitcoin because of the hash rate and the pivot option for miners. I feel like that could help Bitcoin in the long run by in terms of decentralization. Like if Joe Blow over here and his big corporation of miners don't feel like, mining for less money or mining at a negative for a year, and they pivot over to AI, then, little Timmy over here with his little lemonade stand desktop miner can actually mine a couple blocks of Bitcoin maybe, and then it's more decentralized. I don't know. I gotta work on my drawing skills, I guess. All right, let's continue. Stress in U.S. tech credit market is surging. 14.5% of tech loans are now distressed. They should go to therapy. The highest since the 2022 bear market. What does that mean? The loans are distressed. At the same time, the tech bond distress ratio is up to 9.5%, the highest since Q4 2023. These metrics show the portion of loans and bonds that are in default or at high risk of default. Both ratios have risen 4% year to date. As a result, software and debt collateralized loan obligations are recorded a 2.5% decline in January, the biggest drop in at least 12 months, and the worst return among all sectors. Software is one of the largest sectors of the leveraged loan market, reflecting 12% of the Bloomberg U.S. Leveraged Loan Index. Tech credit stress is rising at an alarming pace. I gotta say, with AI, the entire software as a service sector is at risk because why? And I think their biggest problem, they kind of Achilles healed themselves. They flew a little too close to the sun. by switching from a lifetime license to a subscription-based service. Because I would rather, if I can have Adobe Photoshop for like whatever ridiculous, they were charging $1,000 per license, I suppose I would rather pay that than $33 a month indefinitely. I think that that's bullshit. And they switched to that stupid little monthly BS to milk as much money out of as many people as possible. And now people are realizing, oh, I can just pay that amount of money to OpenAI or Gemini or literally anywhere else and do so much more with way less effort with AI. So Adobe, go F yourself. I'm going to just give my money to Sam Altman's creepy ass and use his software. And that's what's happening. Unfortunately, they pivoted away from the lifetime license and screwed themselves. 88 Megalmania said, man, people are so leveraged up nowadays. These company PE ratios are retarded. I 100% agree, dude. The leverage is out of control. And I remember the shift, and I think it was during the pandemic, actually. I'm going to blame the pandemic. For whatever reason, they loosened regulations, and they're like, you can gamble on your phone now. And all of these, they're like, play Gun Lake Casino. And my favorite one, I remember seeing the ad all the time. They're like, Buffalo Sluts, blah, blah, blah. And then the background music, the guy was like, Buffalo. And I was like, what the hell is this? It's the goofiest advertisement I've ever seen. And that was playing, I think I was pumping gas and it was playing at the gas station. I was like, what dystopian ass future am I living in right now? And everyone's now just on their phone gambling with like Stake or Rain Bet or Gun Lake Casino or, you know, whatever other actual like casinos. I think Caesars has one. They all have their own apps and stuff, and it's so weird to me. We've gone from like a cash-backed dollar society to a gambling-backed leverage society in a very short period of time. And I think that that's what's happening here with gold and silver. We saw a mass deleveraging event of essentially of people piecing out from markets because they saw how messed up everything was, and they flew to gold and silver, which is also for some reason not safe from this gambling epidemic that we have. So the sell-off saw cascading liquidations. So all the gold and silver people are like freaking out, scrambling. It's like Mr. Bean when he's like doesn't know what to do. The gold and silver people are like, where do I put my money? And so the dollar strength is pumping right now because people are just going into the dollar. They're like, whatever, I'm just gonna hold cash because that's the easiest way out. Which is why you guys voted for cash in the poll. I don't blame you. What a crazy world, man. We live in a crazy world. It's fun though. I gotta say, I'm thoroughly enjoying myself. People on Kalshi, link below. If they were smart, they would do a one-time fee and charge for the update. Right. Exactly. People on Kalshi. John said, can you check out that banker coin? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Is it on? I'm going to assume that it's on Dex Screener. Is it called Banker Coin? Banker. Let me know. Oh, no, Bank, Badger, Bake. Oh man, remember when Uniswap and PancakeSwap would run? When all the exchange tokens, or the DEX tokens ran? That was so much fun. Last bull market was so much fun. This bull market is like a fever dream. Banker coin. Oh, is it on ADA? It's not on ADA, right? Banker coin ADA. Let me know which one it is, John. Affiliate link below. Yeah, guys, if you want to gamble, if you want to be a degenerate gambler like me and have fun betting on whether or not Trump is going to say the word peanuts at his next press conference, sign up to Kalshi with my link below. It is an affiliate link. I do get a kickback, and it is gambling, so treat it as such. When you sign up there, though, and you trade with $25 or more, we both get $25 non-withdrawable site credit. And it is fun, I gotta say. It's a ton of fun. I've been thoroughly enjoying myself. It's very dangerous, though, so be careful. Don't go overboard. But I do legitimately, like, before I go to bed, I check the markets, and I go to my fiance. I'm like, do you think Trump's going to say blueberries tomorrow? She's like, what? The other day when Powell was on, she was like, did he say, I don't remember what the word, it was a weird word. She's like, did he say dissent? I was like, what? She's like, did he say that word? And I was like, oh, I don't know, but he said predictions. Because I got paid out on that one. Oh, man, what a fun time. Bitcoin kind of recovering. Okay, thank you for the ticker. BNKR, Banker. All right, Banker Coin, Tether Spot, Bing X. Let's go to HTX, see if this one's better. Nope, that one just listed. Interesting. Femex. We do like Femex. Okay. You said you've been trading this recently. Let's do some TA. Looks good, actually. So it launched, or it got listed, launched or listed, and it, you got your initial sell-off, which is to be expected. Little trough right here. A very nice rounded bottom. You could tell how tight, look at how tight that is right there with that higher volume. That's actually kind of crazy. And then you climbed up out of it. You got a little double bottom pump off that double bottom. Very nice. That double bottom actually gave you 2 oversold double bottom situation set up on the RSI as well, which is awesome. You do have a confirmed red dot on Market Cipher right here, which seems to have played out. That was your Pico top. A lot of sell pressure. Look at those wicks. Right now, you do have a nice wedge formed. Question is, what direction is it going to break? Obviously, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. But looking at it on the 4-hour time frame, yeah, that looks really nice. I like the shape. I do. I know that sounds stupid, but we're talking about cryptocurrency, so I really like the shape. If that is a flag, see, you had a smaller one here that played out very nicely, almost at the exact apex of that triangle, with the decreased volume as well. Look at the volume fall off, and then you get a pop. Volume, is it falling off? It did fall off. I guess you got a pop right there with that one candle. It's a 17% candle. Wow. There is visibly more red than green, though, at the moment. Let's just move. Don't want to fix that. So what do we got? RSI is smack dab in the middle. See, this is where it sucks really bad, because unfortunately the answer that I have to give you is very neutral. You do have a red dot on the momentum wave point to the downside, but your RSI is right in the middle. Moving average is acting as resistance, so if you break above that, this thing could pop. But at the same time, being right in the middle with your momentum wave on the lower half, you got positive money flow. It's leaning more bearish on the indicators. I would say more bullish on the technicals with your falling wedge. So it is, unfortunately, a very 50-50 trade. It does look like you have a ton of volatility, though. I don't know if it's just such a small market cap that you get these nice 17. That's a 17% candle right there. No, I'm sorry, I lied. That's a 13% candle. This is a 17% candle right here. That's a 17% candle right there. So it definitely seems like it's fun to trade. You got wicks on both ends. Serious buying pressure, serious selling pressure. Arguably, these are bigger. So you had more selling pressure up here. If you do pump, look for a little bit of resistance around that 8 level. You're at 5.5 right now. Holding 5 is going to be very important, so stay above that. Nice psychological level right there. It looks like you're having no trouble at all. You could see further upside from here, but eventually what goes up must come down. You don't have a lot of scaffolding built. Well, actually, I lied. Maybe I lied. You do kind of have a good pattern going on here. Get above 64, because that's clear resistance based on all this price action. Get above that, hold it as support, and then you got potential for further upside. That's what I got for you. But I do like it. It actually looks like it's trading very nicely. Bitcoin down 0.95% on the day, currently trading at $72,474.30. Gold down 1.05%, $49.12. Silver down 7.42%, 81.61. Who came in here and said short silver earlier? They killed it. Let's see, who was it? They popped in for like 2 seconds. They said short silver. Skull Cruncher. Skull Cruncher absolutely killing it with a silver short. $81.16. Is it going to continue, though? This is a 7% negative candle. Wow. Silver is the new meme coin. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. Let's continue our news segment. We got our input from Grok. Amplified volatility, historic extremes, crypto and loss of independence. Crypto's loss of independence. We'll read that in a minute. Silver going to rip in the market open. It might actually. It might. I've done nothing with my silver. I've opened up that little long at that market bottom because of the supply-demand ratio. I have full faith that it's going to continue to the upside, but I'm not willing to put your guys' money there. So this is not financial advice. If you do make a trade based on anything that I say, it's not my fault. You're an adult. You do adult things with your adult money. I do adult things with my adult money. And we're both responsible for our own decisions. Cheers. Happy Wednesday. I appreciate you guys. I probably should not be drinking that much coffee at 9:42 p.m. But it's really good coffee. Okay. Bitcoin looks good here. Stress in the U.S. tech. Trueflation posted U.S. private payrolls came in at 22K in January as per ADP, well below market expectations of 48K. December employment change was revised downwards to 37K jobs. The largest losses were recorded in professional and business services and manufacturing. The largest gains were in healthcare and financial activities. Interesting. So people are sick and gambling. They're not going to work. They're sick and gambling. Damn. According to ADP in 2025, private employers added only 398,000 jobs, significantly down from 771,000 in 2024. These data suggest that the labor market is cooling, although wage growth still remains stable. Our employment data also show a trend of declining new monthly non-farm payrolls. However, the overall employment seemed to have reached a plateau near 143 million after it plummeted to 133 million during the pandemic. Cooling in the labor market paired with persistent disinflation we see in our independent U.S. inflation data suggests that the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics and perhaps also the Federal Reserve have some catching up to do on the latest data trends. Probably considering the fact that the Federal Reserve's data has been out of date and usually revised down months later as far as jobs are concerned. So, I don't know. I like that they're like, oh, jobs are really good. Jobs were good. Jobs were good. For 12 months, jobs were good. So we're not going to do anything. And then then they come in and they're like, oh, actually, these were all wrong. We revised them. Jobs are actually really bad. And then the Fed is like, we didn't see that. We didn't see anything. We're not going to talk about that. They just do nothing. Like, shouldn't the Fed revise their decision based on that bad data at that point? Am I crazy? Edelmania said MicroStrategy at all-time lows. Yeah, I think it's going to continue to go down. I'm not going to lie. I feel bad saying that, but I see no value proposition here. Maybe it'll hold $100 psychological, but it's just been dumping, dude. There's what is the point of buying this? Why wouldn't I just buy Bitcoin? I think Bitcoin actually holds up better than the frickin' MicroStrategy stock. I'll be wrong eventually, but so far I've been right. Polymarket odds on the Clarity Act being signed into law in 2026 climbed sharply to 72% today, before dropping back to 65%, but remain high. The surge coincided with today's closed-doors meeting of Senate Democrats on digital asset market structure legislation, where they aim to address some party division on the issue. Clearer frameworks could accelerate real-world asset tokenization, enabling more transparent on-chain economic data flows directly aligned with Trueflation's mission of independent real-time macro indexing. But the points of contention remain around data privacy and stablecoin yields, which could undermine key advances in decentralized finance, freedom, pseudo-anonymity, true asset ownership, and democratized access to yield on one's own money. What do you think? Can politicians compromise with crypto disruptors, or will they stifle innovation to remake TradFi on-chain for the big banks? Honestly, at this point, who gives a shit? 88 Metals Mania said, do you think it's going to hurt Bitcoin holders? MicroStrategy? That's a good question. I don't see why it would, but here we are. Maybe it is actually, but see, it's such a weird conundrum at this point because they hold so much Bitcoin, but if this went to zero, would that actually affect their holdings or their company at all? You know what I mean? I just, it's definitely a good question. I just don't know if I have an answer personally. I think it would affect people's view on Bitcoin. I don't know if it would affect Bitcoin holders. That's the answer that I'm going to give you. That's my political answer. Tether minted $1 billion USDT. Very cool. Fidelity USD pegged stablecoin FID, which is very close to FUD, probably not a good name choice, is now live with a 1-to-1 USD minting for retail and institutional investors. They have so much unrealized losses. Oh yeah. The problem though is it's all spot from what we understand. It's not leverage at all. So people being like, this is Sailor's liquidation level is like the silliest, like, I don't know, it's just clickbait, you know? He doesn't have a liquidation level. He can hold forever. He can literally hold forever. Why would Bitcoin dropping in value affect them at all? You know what I mean? I'm just saying. It might affect how much money they can get in the future, but I think they have 2 years of USD reserves to actually pay out their yields. So, for 2 years. So, how long can they suppress Bitcoin's price is the real question. Crypto markets recorded about $705 million in liquidations over the past 24 hours, 503 from longs, 201 from shorts. They are whiplashing in both directions. I believe it's called a whipsaw. So fast that shorts and longs are equally getting wrecked, which is kind of hilarious. CME Group CEO Terry Duffy, brilliant name. He looks like a Terry Duffy. If you would have shown me that man without me ever having heard his name and said, what is his name? I would have said Terry Duffy. Said the exchange is exploring launching its own CME coin on a decentralized network as a part of a push into tokenized collateral. Ooh, okay. I thought they were going to create their own blockchain. I like that they're going to launch a meme coin. This is where we're heading, man. What happens if people dump the stock well below their DCA? See, I don't know what'll happen if people dump the stock. I really don't. They would have less yield obligation, wouldn't they? So it's kind of bullish. I think that's why the price is going down, actually, because people are dumping the stock. Just in, Tether reports USDT hit a $187 billion market cap and record user and transfer highs in Q4 2025, with reserves rising to $193 billion despite a broader crypto market slowdown. It makes sense because nobody wants to buy crypto, so they're buying the stablecoin instead and actually transacting with it, which is what I've been talking about. Stablecoins are spearheading cryptocurrency adoption, and it's going to be an unreliable metric to measure the possibility of how much money can come into crypto in the near future because it's going to be so disconnected from cryptocurrency altcoins as a whole, in my opinion. 88 Metal Mania said, I just don't get it. His plans, like mine, buy Bitcoin and hold it. Difference is he buys highs only and is breaking the golden rule with all cookies in one jar. Yeah, but it is spot, I think, and it's not like crazy extravagant. It's not some sexy swing trade, you know. The guy's just buying and holding. It's DCA. It's boring, and I think that's why he might win. He might get screwed, but again, he's buying spot, so I don't see how he can get screwed. He still has a profitable company underneath all of that. Maybe I'm crazy. Big $3 billion in shorts will be liquidated if Bitcoin hits $80,000. I like these posts because they're so arbitrary and nonsensical, so I continue to read them. Polymarket odds show a 54% chance of another U.S. government shutdown by February 14th. This is hinged on the DHS, Department of Homeland Security funding. It would technically be a partial government shutdown if we get past February 14th with no deal made, because everything but DHS would be funded. So technically speaking, people that work for, I keep wanting to say Department of Human Services, the Department of Homeland Security won't get paid, which is a partial government shutdown. Even if it's just that one little sliver, it still counts. Alert, which is why you got to read the fine print. If you ever do Kalshi or Polymarket, read the fine print on your bets. Some of them are really worded really weird. Like the government shutdown one that I bet on was strictly based on whether or not the website was updated and said, yes, the government is shut down at this time. Metals Mania said, you think it's better to hold for him or actually put the Bitcoin to work? Even goofy Tommy Lee is making big bang on his ETH staking. See, that's the difference. Is there's no, as far as I'm aware, there's no native staking form for Bitcoin. So how would he put it to work with like DeFi lending? Then you're putting a big target on your back because that can actually be meddled with and you can get screwed. Whereas something like Ethereum with native staking, regardless of whether or not how liquid or illiquid it actually is, it is safer than a third party like lending protocol like Aave or Curve. You know what I mean? At least from an institutional standpoint when you're playing with billions of dollars. Tom Selleck said it's going up forever. 88 metal. It is the next exit strategy. Okay. A whale's $11 million Bitcoin USD long position was liquidated in a single order on Bybit. Guys, if you're gonna play with leverage, use my referral links in the description. Mr. Roberts said, "Gotta run, JJ. Take care, bro. Peace. Take it easy, Mr. Roberts. I appreciate you for stopping by. Happy Wednesday, my friend. Cheers." God, that's good. Tom Selleck's Code said, and stock price can go down all at once. He doesn't have to sell. That's what I'm thinking, Tom Selleck's Goat. That's what I believe as well. Maybe I'm crazy though. JJ just adds words to things. Am I wrong? Let's ask Rock because I am genuinely curious. Let's read this first. Historic extremes in metals. We read that. Crypto's loss of independence. This one, the title just cracks me up, so I had to read it. Bitcoin's volatility now correlates tightly with the VIX. A 5-year shift from near zero correlation. Institutional investors use volatility control algorithms that sell across assets, stocks, crypto commodities when the VIX rises, eroding Bitcoin's role as a diversifier or digital gold. This synchronized deleveraging amplifies cross-asset swings in ways less prevalent before crypto's mainstream institutional adoption. So this is what we get with adoption, just boring ass choppy garbage. JJ just adds words to things. Metals Mania said, I'm not worried about him selling, just a narrative thing, lol. Oh no, I appreciate you guys not only participating in the chat, but bringing up genuinely good questions. Tom Selleck's Code said, I said it is the exit strategy, and you said it's the next exit strategy. And yes, Sailor doesn't have to sell. Price of stock doesn't matter for that. I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm good at my job. What happens to Michael Saylor and his Bitcoin stash if strategy goes to zero? Let's see. Okay. Big CFTC withdraws proposed rule that would have banned sports political prediction markets, reversing prior administration's approach. I don't know what, this is cool, but how much more deregulation can we get? We're already literally allowed to, full-on gambling. Michael Saylor posted, if you want to get me a birthday gift, buy some Bitcoin for yourself. What a humble, selfless guy. These AI images crack me up. I'm not gonna lie. Quentin posted, Bitcoin is more oversold than during the pandemic crash. That's freaking crazy. I will say, though, this probably closed. That's probably a wick, what we're seeing. And it probably closed significantly higher, which is the candle body close is what the RSI is based on. So this dump candle body close down here with the RSI is clearly more or less strength than the last one during the pandemic. I don't know. I just add words to things. Orange juice plunged by more than 20% to the start of this week. It's the largest 2-day decline in history. I'm going to have a party because my fiance pretty much only drinks orange juice. And that shit's expensive. Advanced Money Destroyer, there it is, getting absolutely dumped. I literally laughed out loud when I read this earlier. Obviously, we read the Advanced Money Destroyer line yesterday, but getting absolutely dumped caught me off guard. That's pretty funny. Coffee has fallen to its lowest price since August. Finally a win. This one I was also excited for because I have recently begun drinking coffee again, if you guys couldn't tell. It makes me add more words to things. Silver ripping back above 90. Not anymore. Silver dumping. Wow, down 12.85%. Currently G sitting at 76.87. A number go down. How much further can it go? Bitcoin about to reach... Where? What did we call out? Gosh, that's weird. Like, I feel like we just watched it do this. So me doing that again puts us at like in the 50s, and that seems so far away, but it really isn't. Okay. Apple is now 12%, now up 12% over the last 2 weeks. This is really funny because Apple did really bad with their AI, and they just kind of fumbled it so bad where they were like, we're just going to let Google do it. And they like partnered with Google to handle their AI. And because AI is selling off and doing really bad right now, Apple's doing good, which is kind of hilarious. It's like the accidental inverse bubble. Software stocks now underperforming the Nasdaq by the largest margin this century. I genuinely believe that software as a service is a dying breed, and they, like I said, they shot themselves in the foot. They flew too close with the sun with their stupid subscription platform. Everything has to be a subscription. It's too much. It is too much, dude. The only benefit that I would ever see to any kind of subscription-based service would be if a car lease was like $20 a month. Then sign me up. I'm there all day, brother. All day. I will lease the shit out of that car. But everything else, if I can pay once a year, I'd love to. I have Mint Mobile, the phone service, which, by the way, beautiful phone service. Literally never had any issue with my signal. I pay, I think, $180 for the entire year. I get unlimited talk and text and 5 gigabytes of high-speed data. I don't use a lot of data. There's other plans where you can get like unlimited high-speed data, and it's still super duper cheap. But $180 for the year, and it's so nice, dude. It's so nice not having that monthly bill. Highly recommend. If you can pay something off for the year, do it. Thanks for nothing, Zuck. Meta entire earnings move now given up. Damn. Robinhood hits second most oversold level in history. It's probably going to continue to go down because why would you use Robinhood when all of these crypto platforms are doing the exact same thing? 180 a year. Yes, sir. 180 a year. Highly recommend. I can give you a referral if you want it. I don't know. We both benefit from the referral, but it's $180 a year. It's amazing. It works with pretty much every single phone. You can check your phone, like your MEID, on Mint Mobile's website if you want it. My boss got it, though. I was always a cheap phone guy. I had like a Kroger wireless plan, which I think changed to iWireless, or maybe the other way around. It was iWireless, and it changed to Kroger wireless. That was like $40 a month. I thought that was cheap. And then Mint Mobile came out. Ryan Reynolds is everywhere. I'm like, this is annoying. My boss is like, I'm going to try this Mint Mobile thing. I was like, okay. Well, I wouldn't try it, but okay. You do you. He tried it. He said it was great. It actually came with a 2-week trial for a refer a friend of like a SIM card with a random ass phone number. So I tried this 2-week trial with this random ass phone number. It works amazing. I'm like, screw it. I'll sign up. So I signed up and I paid for the full year. $180, and I know every single year, and it's right around tax time too. It's actually due in 2 days. 2 days from today. I pay $180, and that's my entire phone bill for the entire year. I have no phone bill every month. It is the nicest thing on the planet, man. It's so underrated. $180, and I think the most expensive plan is like $240. And the promotion, I think, lets you do the $180 for even the biggest plan because it's $15 a month. 50% off. Yeah, $15 a month if you sign up right now. They usually have this promotion going on all year. Allegedly, it ends in 4 hours. Oh, that's off any 3-month plan. So here's the plan. I'm going to go shop plans. 12-month plan. So it's normally $30 a month for the 12-month. The most expensive one, if you get unlimited, it is normally $35 a month. $180? No, that's my bad. That's the promo. $25 a month for 20 gigabytes a month. So unlimited, I think it is 30. 30 times 12. 360. So 360 a year. That's with the unnecessary, unthrottled, unlimited data. How long have you been using the service? I think I'm going on year 3 now. When I pay it in 2 days, it'll be my 3rd year. And I don't use my data a lot, so I understand the cheapest $15 a month plan. But the most expensive one, $360 for unlimited everything, unlimited internet, along with everything else, still super cheap. For the full year, can't beat it, man. Cannot beat it. Nasdaq QQQ closes below 100-day moving average for only the 2nd time since May. Palantir plunges to lowest price since July. Silver on track for its 10th consecutive green month, its longest winning streak in history. Last but not least, Berkshire Hathaway on a heater while the rest of the market dumps. Warren does it again. What a freaking legend. I've been listening to a lot more Warren Buffett stuff. I've been listening to that J.L. Collins book I told you guys about. Highly recommend you download the audiobook. If you want to buy the physical one, link in the description. That one's also an affiliate link. But it is free if you have like Amazon Music or something. Just download it for free. Or I think it's Audible. Amazon owns Audible. Okay, let's see. MicroStrategy, often referred to as strategy in crypto companies or in crypto communities, and recent branding. Going to zero would imply corporate bankruptcy or near total loss of equity value in an extreme hypothetical scenario, likely tied to prolonged Bitcoin price crashing, making its debt unsustainable or preventing further capital raises. MicroStrategy currently holds approximately 713,502 Bitcoin, acquired at an average price of around $76,052, total cost $54 billion. These holdings are the company's primary asset, financed largely through convertible debt, $8 billion outstanding in recent estimates, and equity issuance. Key facts. In a bankruptcy, the Bitcoin unencumbered, not pledged as collateral for loans, so no immediate forced liquidation for margin calls. In Chapter 11 reorganization or Chapter 7 liquidation, the Bitcoin would enter the bankruptcy estate. Creditors, primarily convertible note holders, would have priority claims. The Bitcoin would likely be sold off or distributed to satisfy debts, with any remainder unlikely in a zero equity scenario going to shareholders. Shareholders get nothing until creditors are paid in full. Equity is wiped out. MicroStrategy's debt is mostly long-dated convertible notes with no near-term maturities forcing action, and the company has repeatedly stated it has no intention to sell. Bankruptcy would require severe sustained stress, inability to service interest or roll debt amid low Bitcoin prices. What happens to Michael Saylor personally? Who cares? The company's massive Bitcoin trove would likely be lost to creditors. Okay. Is there a scenario where Bitcoin is down for too long or hits a certain low price that would really hurt MicroStrategy or other debts? All right, let's see what Grok says with that, because I am genuinely curious about that. Bitcoin continuing to sell off here. We got minus 2.14% on the day, currently trading at $71,604.65. It is genuinely curious to me why certain assets are not dumping as much. And I guess by certain assets, I mean like Doge, Chainlink, Avalanche, Polkadot, and Cardano. You know what I mean? They're like completely oblivious to this sell-off. Silver's down 13.25%, $76.53. We closed a... Did we close a candle there on the 4-hour? Am I crazy? Silver must be on a different time frame. Gold, same thing. All right, let's see what Grok said. Yes, there's a plausible scenarios where the prolonged Bitcoin downturn or sufficiently low price could seriously damage MicroStrategy, and similar Bitcoin treasury companies, often called DATs or debt-financed Bitcoin holders in crypto communities. The risks differ by company structure. MicroStrategy is more resilient than most due to its setup, but extreme conditions could still threaten viability. MicroStrategy holds blah, 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 average total blah. Bitcoin is trading at 73K, 72K underwater, $2 billion in unrealized losses. This is already pressuring the stock, which trades at a premium to net asset value and sparking speculation, but no immediate crisis exists. Scenarios that could really hurt MicroStrategy. Short to medium term, if Bitcoin stays below 76K for extended periods, the stock premium collapses, making equity raises, their main funding tool, difficult/expensive. Unrealized losses balloon, eroding confidence. Recent dips have already caused sharp stock drops and analysts' downgrades. Refinancing crunch, 2028 plus maturities. If Bitcoin is still low when notes mature and markets are risk off, MicroStrategy may face higher interest rates, unfavorable terms, or inability to roll debt. Convertibles might not convert if stock low, forcing cash repayment, which they lack without selling Bitcoin. Extreme prolonged crash. Analysts estimate a static bankruptcy threshold around 23K or lower, depending on model/year. If Bitcoin falls to 20 to 30,000 and stays there for years, holdings value drop below debt levels, risking insolvency when unable to refinance. Michael Saylor's hold forever stance could lead to default rather than selling, triggering bankruptcy where creditors seize and sell the Bitcoin. Recent commentary from Michael Burry highlights risks of cascading forced selling across assets if Bitcoin keeps falling, though this applies more broadly. Risk for other Bitcoin treasury companies, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Miners face greater danger from sustained low prices, can't cover electricity/rigs, and some have pledged assets, potential margin calls, forced sales. Pure treasury plays like MicroStrategy have more buffer but share long-term refinancing risks. In summary, MicroStrategy is built to withstand volatility better than most, but a multi-year bear market with Bitcoin stuck below 30 to 40K could eventually force a reckoning around debt maturities. Shorter downturns mainly punish the stock and growth strategy, not the company's survival. Interesting. That's very interesting. Okay, Tom Selleck Scout said, shit can't go any lower, man. Manny Hood said, silver and gold are going crazy. Where's the rebound? It is after hours right now, so it's interesting. Like, these are foreign markets pushing these. Metals Mania said, people are going to say alt season on, it's just late, then jump in and get wrecked. Oh, 100%. That's happened probably like 20 times already in the past 24 months. That's definitely what's happened already. I'm guilty of that. DXY continues to outperform. Interesting, man. This is so interesting. Bitcoin dumping, and alts are really holding their own. It's freaking me out, man. Dominance is getting shafted here. Is this thing going to plummet? And are we actually... you know what would suck really bad? The icing on the cake of this whole entire doom fest is if our alt season was just Bitcoin dumping and alts dumping like 10% of what Bitcoin dumps. Like Bitcoin dumps and then alts dump. If Bitcoin dumps 10%, alts dump 1%. You know what I mean? That would be so stupid. Everyone's like, yay. It's like inverse alt season where like alts just don't suck as bad as Bitcoin sucks. I don't know, man. Pretty crazy. Crazy stuff we're watching. Crazy stuff. We're like reaching the point where there's only 4 people left in each coin. So everyone's like, I'm not going to fucking sell. I don't really care. That's what it seems like. Alright, portfolio update. We finished our news. 1K to 10K Grok portfolio. Man, this one's crazy. I'm just going to... Down $638 or 63.8%. Best performer Solana down $46 or 46%. Worst performer Aptos down $81 or 81%. Then we've got the meme coin portfolio currently down $712 or 71.2%. Best performer here is Doge, only down $113. Worst performer is GigaChad, down $182. Wow. Is that right? Yeah. Whew. Then we've got the narrative portfolio, my favorite, and I believe the most resilient one. Currently down $278 or 55.6%. Best performer here is Tau, down $36 or 36%. Worst performer is Fetch, down $70 or 70%. And last but not least, the knife-catching portfolio, what used to be called the perfect entry portfolio when we thought we were getting a perfect entry. Currently down, what is that, $590 or 59%. Best performer here is Chainlink, down $40 or 40%. Worst performers, Avalanche, down $72 or 72%. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Metal Mania said, market's red in the morning. Let's see. Stock market after hours, according to CNN, at the moment, Dow is down 0.17, S&P is down 0.05, and Nasdaq is down 0.02. Okay. Why is Snapchat publicly traded? I guess they got the cool filters and stuff, but I never saw the appeal with Snapchat. It got really popular like when I was in high school, and then I just stopped hearing about it. Every once in a while, somebody will bring it up. They'll be like, "What's your Snap?" In like a video, I'll be watching a video or something. People are like, "What's your Snap?" I'm like, "Oh, people still use Snapchat? That's still around?" Like, remember Mixer? What was it called before that? Musically? Man, what a crazy world, man. Pretty soon there's gonna be like there's already like a 1990s museum that I want to go to. I grew up in the 90s. I was born in 93, so the fact that that's a museum already kind of blows my mind. But it was such a different time because the transition in technologies, there was so much like analog stuff with all this like digital things that we were getting a hold of. I don't know. It was fun, dude. It was fun. I miss it. I wish we could like stop the advancement of technology just in the 2000s, man. Give me like 2005. Take me back to 2005. Everything from that point forward can be the same. I'll be happy with it, man. I think it'd be fun. Computers were advanced enough, but it wasn't too crazy. It's a different time. YouTube was around, but it looked all clunky and shit. All right, folks, I'm going to end the poll. We got 26 votes. You guys killed it. Hopefully, you guys smashed the shit out of the like button as well. Bitcoin down 2.18% on the day, currently trading at $71,579.99. ETH down 1.33%, currently trading at $2,120, $2,118. Solana down 1.35%, currently trading at $90.91. Is Solana going down to 75 next? Time will tell. ADA is down 0.49%, currently trading at 28.52. Gold down 2.28%, currently trading at $4,852. Silver down 12.58%, currently trading at $77.16. Strategy looks like doo-doo. Nasdaq and S&P definitely got some recovering to do, in my opinion. We will see what happens. We're in that weird choppy sideways situation. Hopefully, Daddy Trump turns on the money printer, sends us some stimmies, and buys our votes for midterms. Guys, as always, when the market starts to do anything crazy, actually, I'm sorry. Let me read the poll results first. I asked you guys, where is the smart money going right now? We got 26 votes. 38% of you said gold and silver. 35% of you said cash and USD. 19% said buying the Bitcoin dip, and only 8% of you guys said the stock market. Interesting. Cheers. Metals Mania, appreciate you for participating in the chat and sticking around. Thank you for being here. Guys, as always, when the market starts to do anything crazy, I will hop back on. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow. Don't forget to smash the like button on your way out. Happy Wednesday and good night.